This is another weather update. In this forecast, we're going over the severe weather outbreak expected this week, as well as some big snow totals and a huge fire threat for the southwest. All the details on this big storm in this video. All right, welcome back into another weather update. Again, we are expecting a big storm this week, and let's get right into it, timing it out. So right now, we do have that slight risk for tonight, and this does include Springfield, Jefferson City, just to the west of St. Louis, so those western St. Louis suburbs are under this slight risk of severe weather. Tulsa, again, Springfield, and Jeff City are under this slight risk of severe weather, a marginal risk outside of that, so a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here. We do have a 2% chance of tornadoes, so 1 or 2 tornadoes can't be ruled out here. The threat is there. We do have a 15% chance of wind and also a 15% chance of hail, so your general severe weather event here. I'm not expecting too much, but some hail, some wind, and maybe 1 or 2 tornadoes can be expected. So let's time this all out here on the HRRR model. This is going to time when our storms are going to start developing. So as we really go into around 9-10 p.m. here, that's when those storms really start to develop. And I think when they start to develop here, you can see those bright colors there indicating these are going to be some strong storms when they first start initializing, when they're first in their initializing and starting phase, when they're starting to sprout up. And I think when they start to spark off here, that's when we're going to see our biggest hail threat. So Joplin, Tulsa definitely need to be weather aware tonight for that hail and those damaging winds. And again, 1 or 2 tornadoes. This is going to affect Jeff City again, and Springfield. In Springfield, I think it's going to get there around 1 to 4 a.m. here for Springfield. Again, very late tonight into very early tomorrow mornings when we're expecting those storms, and they're pretty much all said and done with by the time we get to around 7 a.m. So very late tonight into early tomorrow morning is when we're going to be expecting those strong storms into northeastern Kansas, southwestern Missouri, into northeastern Oklahoma into southeastern Kansas. That's where we're expecting those storms. Again, late tonight into early tomorrow morning. So again, we do have that slight risk for severe weather. But for Monday, we do have a bigger slight risk. We do have a 5% chance of tornadoes, 15% chance of winds, and a significant threat for hail here for Little Rock, Dallas, Waco, and just to the east of Oklahoma City here. Again, wind threat 15% and 5% chance of tornadoes. We could see a 10% there. Definitely room for it there in Arkansas. So Little Rock, Memphis, just to the west of Jackson, just to the south of Springfield, and Dallas here. You guys need to be weather aware tomorrow because we do have another slight risk for severe weather. So now we're going to look at this model here, and this is going to tell us when we're going to be seeing our strong storms. So we're looking at the NAM model here, and this is going to be telling us, again, when we're going to see our strong storms tomorrow. So this is what the radar could like. Again, not exact. So some storms, although it may look like there's not going to be some storms in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on this model run, there could definitely be some storms down there. So just because we're not seeing too much, Storm Prediction Center has Dallas under that slight risk of severe weather. So I'd still be weather aware tomorrow if you're in Dallas and Fort Worth. But as we go into really early tomorrow, so around 10 or earlier here, tomorrow morning, we do see those storms start to fire off here into Fayetteville, Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas here. And really when they're firing off again here, we're going to see that hail threat. Again, a few tornadoes is probably going to be happening here with this threat. But those storms do get out of there fairly quickly here. So by around 12 p.m., these storms will be all said and done with in Arkansas and going through Memphis. So those storms are going to go through Memphis around 10 to 12 p.m. So lunchtime there, Memphis, Jonesboro, you're going to be hit by some storms and some heavy rain showers there. Again, that slight risk of severe weather for Monday. Be weather aware if you're in those highlighted areas. But now we're getting into the big, probably the headlines you've been hearing about this storm. We already have an enhanced risk, but this includes Kansas City, and this again is for Tuesday. Kansas City, Tulsa, Dallas, all the way down here in Dallas, and a huge slight risk, and this includes a plethora of cities here: Des Moines, Omaha, Kansas City, and just to the east of Wichita. Again, Oklahoma City also included in this. We have that enhanced risk for severe weather, and as well as Monday, we are probably going to be having that enhanced risk in that 30% area and a huge slight risk in that 15% area. So let's time out Tuesday's severe weather right here on the models here. We're going to really time out that severe weather expected on Tuesday. So as we go into Tuesday here, so really around, I'd say 7 p.m. here on Tuesday, that's when our storms really start to fire off here. They're going to be very strong storms here. Tornadoes could be a big threat with these storms. We don't know the tornado threat yet. We'll know that tomorrow. So if I do an update tomorrow, we'll have a bunch of new details on this, as well as the details we've already gained about the weekend. But you can see these strong storms developing into southern South Dakota, central to eastern Nebraska here. You can see these strong storms and could be tornadic supercells as they go through these areas. And this is as far out as we can go here, but Iowa, even up into Minneapolis here, we could be seeing some rumbles of thunder. But Des Moines, Kansas City, Topeka, Kansas, all these areas, as these strong storms, almost in a line of storms here, come through, they're going to really pack a punch, and a couple to a lot of tornadoes could be possible here with this setup. Again, a very strong setup for storms, and I'm really worried about Iowa into Nebraska here. So as we look right here, this is around 10 p.m. So again, storms are going to be in the dark here, so very dangerous mode. And I think tornadoes definitely are going to be possible here in Iowa and northwestern Missouri into northern and central Kansas. We really got to watch out for these strong storms. And if we want to look even farther past that, you can see as we go into around 3 a.m. here on Wednesday, we see those storms going through Kansas City or just to the east of there, and then they kind of fizzle out as they get into central Missouri as we go into around the early morning hours, your early commute. Just some showers here for Jefferson City and Columbia, but Kansas City, I'm really worried about you guys as well up there in St. Joseph and Des Moines and Point Southward. I'm really worried about you guys. You guys need to be on high alert for Tuesdays as these strong storms come through. Again, if you're in any of these highlighted areas here, you need to be weather aware, high alert on Tuesday for this severe weather. Des Moines, Kansas City, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Dallas, you're in those highlighted areas. So I just mentioned where you live. Again, you need to be weather aware and on high alert for Tuesday as these strong storms are expected to come through. So last thing, severe weather-wise, we're going to look at here is the Wednesday severe weather threat. We do have a 30% huge enhanced risk is what this is probably going to be. So tomorrow this 30% risk will probably be an enhanced risk, and that 15% risk will probably be a slight risk. So St. Louis, Memphis, Greenville, Jackson, Shreveport, but especially I think areas, circle it right here, areas right here, I think your main threat for severe weather. St. Louis and points northward, you could get on some storms, but the stronger storms are going to be to your south there in St. Louis. But still, if you're in that enhanced area, that highlight area, still need to be weather aware as we go into Wednesdays. We're expecting a big day on Wednesday for severe weather, as well as Tuesday. Could be even bigger than Tuesday, but I think Tuesday is going to be a big day. So Tuesday and Wednesday, back-to-back big severe weather days. If we really want to time it out here, we can look at the weather model. So you can see that line of storms again going through Kansas City, Des Moines, as we go into early Wednesday morning. Then, again, those storms fizzle out, but we kind of see a rebirth of those storms. So by around 3 p.m. here, maybe even earlier than that here on Wednesday, we're going to start seeing those storms really develop just to the west of St. Louis, just to the west of Chicago, just to the west of Memphis, and just to the west of Jackson. These areas, there's going to be different areas of developing storms down here. Especially here in the southern part, those developing storms are going to be very strong. And we really got to watch for a huge severe weather threat here. You can see those, it becomes into a multicellular line of storms, so many clusters of cells and supercells, maybe even tornadoes. Definitely, I think, are going to be a big threat with this setup here. And that's as far as we can go out. There's probably going to be a severe weather threat even into the Ohio Valley as we go into Thursday here. But again, Wednesday, mid-afternoon into late afternoon and into the evening here as we go into the Ohio Valley, we're going to really have to watch for these storms as they come through. They're going to be very strong storms. So we're kind of done looking at the severe weather here, but we also do have to look at the fire risk here. Again, we do have a big fire risk. We do have, it's looking like Tuesday or all this week we're going to have that big fire risk for severe weather. So if we look at the Storm Prediction Center here, we're going to look at the big fire risk we're expecting this week. Again, you can see that critical danger of fire, and this is for Monday, that critical danger of fire. We're really going to have to watch for these areas. There's going to be very low dew points in these areas. So Santa Fe, Lubbock, Amarillo, Las Caques, and Albuquerque. You guys need to be ready for some fire, some dry weather, and there could be some fires that spark up here. So make sure you're not doing anything that could spark up fires if you're in these areas, because we're going to have very dry conditions. There's not going to be really at all any moisture to stop these fires from growing. So again, if you're in these areas, make sure you're safe as we go into this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. As this storm starts going through, there's going to be some moisture that tries to squeeze in there into New Mexico and into northern Texas. But before then, we're going to have to watch for that big fire threat. So the last thing we're going to look at, again, big fire threat this week, make sure to take that seriously, is the snow. This is, again, the last thing we're going to look at here as we've looked at this big storm. But another aspect of this storm is the huge amounts of snow here. You can just see anywhere from 12 to over 2 feet. Yep, over 2 feet of snow here, well over 2 feet. We could get up, some isolated areas could get up to 40 inches of snow here into North Dakota. I think northern Minnesota and North Dakota are going to be the main bullseyes for those biggest snow totals into Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado. The mountains there in Colorado and Wyoming and Montana. Big snow mounts as the storm starts to stall out. It's going to stall out over Wisconsin and drop heavy, heavy snow totals, especially in these areas right here, and also into Canada. We can't forget about Canada. We're going to have some huge snow totals with this big storm. So that wraps up our latest update. Again, we got the latest details on the severe weather outbreak expected this week. If you want to be kept updated again on this, subscribe and go follow me on Twitter. I'm posting updates all the time over on Twitter, telling you guys when I'm going to post my videos. So remember to do that. I'll see you in the next one, forecasting this big storm. Probably an update tomorrow, definitely an update this week on this huge upcoming storm. Remember, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday need to be on high alert for severe weather if you're in those highlighted areas. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.